Hello and good evening, one and all, to round 5 of the oNiD Community Racing GT3 Festival, powered by Coach Dave Academy here at the very wet, very damp, very moist, ugh, what a word, Spa-Francorchamps. Qualifying is underway for everyone in the GT3s that is partaking this evening. Solo qualifying, so we don't get to see them all on circuit, but we do get to see them solo as they are driving around the track on their own. Getting their quality laps in as we are currently following the Mustang here, going down into the no-name corner. Whilst we look at this very wet bar, I also welcome our co-commentator this evening once more. It's Mr. Ben Myatt. Good evening, Ben.
Good evening. I apologise to everyone for Aidan's unrepentant usage of the word moist.
We love it, really.
Yes, rain at Spa. What could possibly go wrong this evening? Already seeing people getting a few loops in practice, and tonight is the last hurrah for the old GT3 tyre model. Two new cars and a completely new tyre model coming tomorrow. So we're looking forward to seeing what that does for us.
Nope, absolutely. People on outlaps at the moment, I can actually tell you, the first car to start a lap is Alfie Beavan in yet again another Mustang. It seems to be a popular car for this GT3 festival during season 3 of oNiD Community Racing. Down into the first turn he goes. Let's follow this lap around, as I'm sure it will just give us a bit of a view of what to expect going up through El Rouge and Radion. Now down onto the Kemmel Straight. I hope I'm saying these parts of the circuit right, Ben. I don't have a track map in front of me, but Kemmel Straight.
If there's one track you're going to remember, that Mustang is looking very well founded in the wet, I've got to say. Of the cars that we GT3 cars we have to play with on LMU, the Mustang is probably the one with the highest centre of gravity, I'd say, at least until tomorrow. And we'll see where the Lexus stands on that one. But it's a car that has done quite well in the wet round here so far already on this sim. They ran a whole event with this setup, so we'll see what we can do as Alfie pushes down towards Pouhon.
Does indeed. Oof, what a shot going into Pouhon on the entry of the corner. Sees how far across on the curb. Still using the curb, even though in the wet conditions it could be ever so slightly risky to do so, but he's able to potentially get a bit more extra time out of that car. Is Alfie currently purple first sector because no one else has set a lap time. No one's actually challenging it as of yet, as we'll always keep an eye on that little graphic on the bottom right that might update as some more laps come in. That purple sector may not be purple for much longer. It's a purple middle sector, again for the very same reason. Not many more corners to go for Alfie as he goes down into the final part of the sector. We call this a straight. It's pretty much flat, apart from maybe a little bit left here into the penultimate corner. There's only one more chicane to go, and then it is a lap done for Alfie. First car will be on the timing board. I believe it is Alfie's going to be the first lap that's on the timing board actually. As
was a little lift just as he came round the turn, just to get the car turned in. There's a little bit of that lift off oversteer that you need on these tyres to really get it pushed through.
First lap on the board, 2:31.6, but it's really pipped actually by Baskar in the McLaren. Both cars pretty much getting the time on the board at the same time. They're not, as we said previously, they're not sharing the same circuit. They have private individual qualifying, so these guys just having the track to themselves, no one else around them. They don't have to worry about finding a gap or finding space. Not that you would necessarily worry about finding a gap or finding some space on the circuit as long as Spa-Francorchamps. But
the McLaren is Pascal's go-to car, so I'm not surprised to see him get right up there. He is very quick in the GT3s. But
purple first sector, marginally purple, might I add.
Pushing onwards, and the car looks very stable underneath him. Whatever setup he's got is really working for him.
Yes, indeed. We'll jump on board if Louise goes into the middle sector. Looks so fairly tidied up.
Feeling Pascal's a bit like me. He picks one car and then settles on it, and he does seem to have gone with the McLaren for a long time.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll get the on board. He goes into Pouhon. Oh, bit of a flirt with the throttle there, lifts ever so slightly, going back on power. I love that overlay, seeing the driver inputs as they go through the lap. We don't really get that with any other sim bar, potentially iRacing, but lovely to see such a... It's all been modelled after the actual World Endurance Championship as well. On their TV overlays, it's just quite funky.
Oh, Pascal runs in wide, dips the tyre in the gravel.
Middle sector's not that great, however, not an improvement on his personal best. I don't think...
Come round for another one there. That one, that dip on the gravel and that middle sector will have...
Yep, oh, and that's a running wide, that'll be track limits there. So I think he's going to have to wait for another opportunity, and indeed nothing changing as of yet.
The game was quite forgiving with track limits at that corner, so he might have got away with it. But either way, yeah, it was
no.
Mind you, it was only 0.2 off his best.
It's not bad, to say goodness you.
No, not really.
Let's see what other people are doing. Let's go to Angela Scotty. Purple first sector.
If Alfie and Apple were together on track, they would basically be inside each other.
Yeah, pretty much. But that's a slide for Angela Scotty to go onto the power for the final chicane. It's a purple first sector. It's a personal best middle sector, but a torrid final sector.
Yeah, it's so easy to lose it in that final run down. You just, especially in these conditions, it's easy for the car to understeer out towards the outside through those flat out sections and really cost you as you have to lift off to keep the lap legal.
Absolutely, the best time around Scotty and Chris Downing there. 0.005 of a second difference between 8th and 9th. And actually, Chris Downing setting a time is very much exactly the same time, near enough, as Andrew Sotti. That's interesting to see. If my graphic is correct. I'm not sure if it is correct, actually.
And just keeping a sly eye on those top two. I'm flicking between them on the follow cam, and they are basically at exactly the same position on track. These 2 laps from them are going to be very, very close.
They are pretty much neck and neck on the same part of the circuit. Let's follow Alfie and see what he can do. What's his times at the moment? It's purple. Purple first sector and the purple middle sector, so this is going to be an improvement for Alfie. He's comes down to the final chicane.
It's going to be the final chicane that makes it, who gets the better run off the corner.
About to find out. Final chicane. No. Oh, it looks very gathered from a very rear wheel driven Mustang. Comes to line. And it's quicker.
Oh, did Ethel invalidate? Because they were right on top of each other.
Must have
He did.
invalidated.
He invalidated in the 3rd lap. In the 3rd sector.
Oh, so he's going to have to go at it again. He'll have enough fuel, or would the tyres be alright though? That's the question. And the rain, or well, at least the track itself, there's no more spray. It's drying.
I have it on good authority. The race is going to be wet throughout. So it's, I don't think it's ever going to get any more than a little bit drier. But you're right, there is definitely a lack of spray going on there.
The track, according to my data that I see, 12% wet.
Alfie has gone out on the mediums, as has Alan Axon down in P13, and Tyler Hammer is just exiting the pits on the mediums. This could put up a interesting result.
Track is drying enough for those, especially Alan Axon, taking a bit of a gamble. So is, as I said, Alfie Beaver, so we'll keep an eye on that. First driver to set a lap, or at least start a lap, will be Alan Axon. We'll stay with Alan and see what his sector times are going to be. He's currently on the out lap. Is this building up the tyre temperature? Now, exactly like the real WEC, World Endurance Championship, which is cars racing, which is what this simulator is based off, there's no tyre warmers from out the pit lane. So, whatever you get on your tyres, you have to build up the heat. And on slick tyres, it can take up to a couple of laps. So, 2 and a bit minutes, or under 3 minutes left, there will be time for another out lap. I think, judging how twitchy that Ferrari is, he may need to get some more heat into the tyres before we see a representative lap time. We will stick with him to see what he does. As Alan comes to the line, start a lap. The first sector will be telling.
I mean, the track is drying, but there's still big chunks of it that are damp and greasy. So that when you get there, those tyres are going to cool down and are going to really struggle to gain temperature. If you can hold it through the other bits, you're going to gain so much time through the dry sections.
Tentative going through our rouge. We'll jump on board. As it goes up through Kemmel.
It sounds so muted. It doesn't. Oh no, he's gone deep.
Still
That will
silent.
invalidate the lap.
That will.
Next
Yeah, oh.
person, who is someone just starting a lap on the slicks, is Alfie Bevan, who has been working his tyres like a madman.
Let's see what you can do. That's a lap from
Going
Alan
around the
Axon.
source,
Was,
yeah.
yeah, he's a hairpin, first hairpin. That lap from Alex Axon will have to wait. You'll have enough time to get around again, start another lap. Just.
It's going to be very tight for him. This is Alfie's one shot on the slicks.
There is a dry line forming. You can just about see it. Oh, that's a twitch going up through our rules though.
Might have got away with that. Kept two wheels on the curb on the exits, but he might have gotten away with it.
We're about to find out. Timing beam's coming up. It's slower. The slicks aren't working. At least not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
he spun it.
No, the slick's not quite ready for the
anyone
circuit.
else trying their luck. I think Tyler Hammer is on slicks, but he's in the Porsche, so if there's any car that's going to kill him, it's going to be that.
Now if he's decided to have a bit of fun now, isn't he? Look at that.
He's drifting, isn't he?
Yeah, of course he is. Tyler Hammer starting a lap on the dry, going up through El Rouge, ready on. Oh, that's going to be invalidation.
Yeah.
Run wide.
Anyone else giving it a go? Frame Doric is either just about to start a lap or about to put a fast one in. I think he might just be starting.
He's just started a lap and it was just valid as well. Oh, it abandons. No, that's it. He calls it.
It was worth a try, I suppose.
It was indeed. That's Neat Commanders actually on a lap, we'll say, going on to the second sector, and this is still on wet tyres, mind you, purple first sector, so the track is drying, but not dry enough to try for slicks. Purple first sector for Neat Commanders. What's the second sector going to look like? About to find out. He's comes to the timing beam. It's a personal best. It's slower than the best lap, but will be an improvement on his personal best, which is about 1.3 seconds off pole. So you're looking at potentially challenging for fourth or third if he keeps this lap tidy.
Rob can put in some good laps when he has a chance. We know he's got pace. So let's see. Gets on the brakes, down into the chicane. Keeps the wheels off the sausage curbs, doesn't upset the car.
Gets the power down, uses curb, finds traction, comes to a line. It's going to P8, and that final sector hurt him. That's lap done for Neat Commanders. Charlie Morgan's just finished a lap, doesn't improve. Any other cars are on laps. Chris Downing, Pavot, I think they're both about to finish a lap actually. Whereas Pavot is going down to the final sector. Let's jump on with, actually this is Chris Downing should I say. Purple first sector. So obviously cars finding time over the leaders in the first sector, but then losing it in the middle.
James LaPavo goes top?
Oh, okay. That happened. Completely missed that one. That's pole position.
Oh, Chris Downing. Yeah, Chris Downing has looped it at the last corner.
So, only one more car on a lap, and that's Ben Brown. Tyler Hammer comes back to pits, doesn't improve. And it's going to be Ben Brown to the line, I think. Oh, it goes up to 11th. It's an improvement for him.
He can work from there. I've always said in these cars, qualifying is not the be-all and end-all. It's not a you cannot pass situation. So you'll be able to go out and get the get into the race and start trying to work his way forward.
Yeah, absolutely. We just await the qualifying session to proceed into the race. We'll see that Pavo, the blue Ford Mustang, on pole position as qualifying has now ended. Just await the the server to tick over. Not much longer, hopefully, before it does. Now we can get the cars on the grid ready for our 60-minute race.
It is. I'm gonna have to check now.
Teams and
I've only been
drivers
doing
and
this
go
for
to the grid
4
for a
weeks
race
now.
start.
1 hour 5 minutes, 65-minute race. So they will need to make a pit stop. There is not really any way to fuel save for that amount of time.
No, absolutely not. So, have a look at the session results for Quali 1. It is Pavo on pole. It's Alfie Bevan, Baskar, Malvone, Downing, Temenga, Scotty Manders, Frank Dorick, and then Charlie Morgan. And we go down to Ben Brown 11th, Matt Townsend 12th, Dan Tomlinson 13th, Janik 14th, Axon 15th, Vivek 16th, Daniel Ben 17th, Charlie Page 18th, Dave Wood 19th, Tyler Hammer 20th, and 21st is Andy Hearn, Tim Bob, Dean Smith, Toby, Eddie, John Cotty, and then Luke Labs. Didn't set a lap time, did Luke, in 26th, but he will be looking to try and improve on that. I do hope he does.
I think he did try to set some lap times, but just wasn't able to find a clean lap in those conditions.
No, absolutely not. As we wait for all the cars to take to the circuit, and they'll very shortly get the race underway on this
Formation
race.
lap has started.
As we hear this call out, formation lap has indeed started, and the cars will slowly roll away. And it is a very wet circuit now. Those conditions have worsened into the race, and we will start a very wet race, but no rain falling. We may see track dry out as the cars get going.
One trick from the start here, it is quite easy to get caught out as you're coming to the start and end up picking up a drive-through for being out of position in the queue. These guys are going to have to be very careful through that last chicane.
They are indeed. Wet tyres, the name of the game for this race start here at round 5, Spa-Francorchamps of the GT3 Festival here on oNiD Racing. They're going to get us to the start-finish line. It's Pavo Bevan on pole for the start of the race as we await the lights out for the race start.
Green flag, green flag.
We are away 65 minutes worth of racing here at Spa-Francorchamps with very wet conditions. Down to turn 1 they go. Pavo holding the lead in that blue Mustang. Alfie Beaver's dropping now. Baskar trying to get up the inside. They're side by side. And I hear contact in the background. They may have just had a bit of contact as everyone looks to have somehow tidily got through turn 1.
Yep, a lot of guys still there. No one. Oh no, we have got Alan Axon slow on. Oh no! That's a multi-car pile-up on the out of the source.
Oh dear, that's Axon, Toby Eddy, Andy Hearn as well involved.
Axon going slow, looks like he'd had some incidents at the source, and then just other guys coming around. I suspect they lost him in the spray and just could not see him.
And that's damage as well, very much so. We'll see if we can get a replay. I think we can. If we jump to a replay. Nope, we're not jumping to a replay. It's just the game not keeping up sadly. Let's see if it was here. No, it's not going to let us get a replay of that instance sadly, so it has been somewhat mixed. We'll see if we can. No, it's not going to let us sadly, unfortunately, so we'll just stick with the live action for now as those cars are sadly going to have to recover, go back to the pits and try and get their damage repaired. Potentially we'll go back to the lead cars. It's still Pavo ahead.
It's very close between Alfie and James LaPavo. Two of the Assetto Corsa night regulars just now battling on a Monday night as well.
Dear Lord. Pavo leading the way from the charging Alfie Beaver, managed to close that gap, and it's Baskar who's lost out here in P3 with Chris Downing right on his tail as the two leaders go down into the final sector.
The problem is that I don't think Alfie has mapped a manual window screen wiper. because it's not actually raining, so the windscreen wipers are turned off. So any time he's in Pavo's spray, he's just getting a face full of water on that windscreen.
Yes, as well. Oh, that's Baskar going wide through the chicane. Just caught that in the background. As we are going to try and get a replay of that, we go to a replay, and indeed we are able to. Now it gives us a replay. Outside line for the BMW. It's not going to work. They try and both turn in and brake late. Baskar takes the escape road, eats a bit of sausage while he's at it. As you do. But holds position, crucially. Holding the position at the very least. Up ahead, however, it is Pavo still leading away, and this is Alf now on board of Alfie.
Goes to the inside. Duh. James better on the brakes that time round, able to hold the corner. But he's going to be soaking up a lot of pressure here. We know how good the slipstream is in the GT3s in this game. Every time they're on a long run, he is going to be punching a massive hole in the air for Alfie.
Yeah, absolutely. Everything else stays put. But we'll have that slipstream going down into the next couple of sectors, which I'm sure he'll love. But the spray, maybe not so much.
It is going to be a defensive drive for a little while there, I suspect.
Yes, very much so.
There is a nice little fight forming between Ben Brown, Andrea Malvoni and Nick Manders, with Charlie Morgan's closing up on them as well.
Look at the Ben Brown train that we're seeing here through Pion.
Yeah. I mean, if there's any place you're going to be able to use the straight line speed of the Mustang to defend, it's going to be round here.
Yeah, absolutely.
About all over the back of him in that Corvette.
Indeed he is.
General Motors versus Ford, the old rivalry.
Oh boy. The jump on board with Andrea Malvone as he's following Ben Brown. Also right behind him, however, is Nick Manders. He's got front row seats for this in his Ferrari. It's Ferrari, Corvette, Ford. Ferrari thinks about making a move inside the 5 chicane. Oh, the Corvette comes across at the last moment.
And there's an Aston joining the party as well, because why not?
Here's an Aston, but why the hell not?
Charlie Morgan is probably going to be losing a bit of straight line. That Aston likes to cruise. It doesn't accelerate as well as a lot of the other cars from experience.
Yeah.
Ooh, just loose. No, it's just my system having a moment.
Yeah.
Ben Brown pulling a little bit of a gap here as they go up through Eau Rouge. Oh, mate. That looks a little bit twitchy as he came over the curbs.
He did indeed. Also another battle going down to Eau Rouge. That's Tim Bobb getting the move done on Fran Doric. He just jumped to that as he's gone back up into 16th, getting the move done. Bit of a recovery drive. You usually see him a bit more further up the order down, apart from down in 16th, which is a shame.
I want to look around some other battles. Tyler Hammer trying to get that Porsche past Dave Wood's Ferrari. But, personally, I find the Porsche sketchy to drive in the dry, so I can't imagine it's going to be feeling anything less than a death machine around here.
Yes. A bit twitchy at times, isn't it?
Oh yes, and as the weight comes off, as Tyler burns the fuel off, it's going to get even more so.
Jump on board the helmet view of Tyler. Interesting point of view to see. You see there's still some standing water on circuit. Spray beam kicks up by a couple of cars up ahead of him.
There seems to be less spray around than there was. We might be getting it drying a little bit. I don't think it's going to get dry enough for slicks.
Not
unless
yet.
someone feels very, very brave. But it might make those The wet's a little bit of a handful as they start to overheat and if the water comes off.
Well, average wetness of the track is 12%, so the track is drying. There may be a dry line forming in a few minutes' time. Keep an eye on that.
That's going to make things very interesting for people because if a dry line does form, it's not going to be early enough for them to really take advantage for their pit stops.
No.
They're not going to have burnt off enough fuel yet for the end of the race.
No, exactly. For those who aren't aware about the fuel situation with this class of car, in the WEC Championship, WEC World Endurance Championship, as I said, these cars do drive. We have virtual energy, a way of balancing the performance of the cars. And
Alpha making a move for the lead. Sorry to interrupt.
Oh,
and he's through. He's on the outside. They are side by side down into the crater curves.
Alfie outside becomes inside, and that's going to be moved done. Nope, Pave's not having that all his way. It's got the inside live and left right hand, and it's still side by side.
Big twitch from Alfie.
But gets the move done crucially.
Oh, that was brave.
James is coming back. No, he's not. Oh. Now,
that was a lot of reliance on what grip there was in that yellow Mustang to go round the outside there.
There's a bit of a connection blip there for Alfie. It's not confidence inspiring when you've got another car trying to fight for position, but does resolve itself and is going to keep on going. James Pavo maybe going to try and stick with him, but that gap is opening ever so slowly now, half a second, and looks like to be ever so slightly and marginally increasing.
Maybe, but he's still going to be within range of the slipstream. So if he can close up just a touch in the braking zones, he'll be able to get that power down and let Alfie pull him along.
Absolutely.
As he's been doing to Alfie for the last few laps. He's not going to do so well if he dips a tyre in the gravel like that one.
We've already just noticed we've already had a DNF, that's Neat Commanders. I'm hoping this will show us why. I think it will. It's a replay. I think I was going through. Oh, Rouge has a massive moment, and into the barrier he goes. Not the greatest camera angles either. Yeah, but he is back in the pit lane.
Straight killed the engine, that one.
Oh boy.
I suspect if we'd been on board with him at that time, we'd have seen the throttle going up, but nothing happening.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gutted for Nick there. That was he was having a really good run down in the back there.
A fantastic fight there between that little midfield pack of cars, which has sadly lost a driver because of it. Just a slide to El Rouge and we're losing out on him. Then that was it really. He completely, well, I say completely lost it. I don't think it was necessarily all his fault, just lack of grip as he was fighting with other cars.
It's always the way, it will come back to haunt you.
Indeed it will.
You need to be lucky every lap. The track only needs to be lucky once.
Yeah. Now going back to the point of having virtual energy for these cars. The pit stops are determined. We do have to make a stop, but the actual fuel usage is determined by what is called virtual energy. Now on your screens you'll see a couple of bars on your right. One of them is NRG, which is the virtual energy that is used. It's essentially drive stint time, as each car is limited. That can be adjusted to balance the performance of the cars. If one's a bit more quicker than the other, they'll reduce the usable virtual energy you can use. If a car is a little bit slower and potentially can benefit from having a bit more track time, it will increase. So it's just a way of balancing performance between all the cars. That's what is determining the pit stops. It doesn't matter if there's a fuel tank that can outlast the virtual energy. You'll just use up all your virtual energy before you use all your fuel. So there's a bit of strategy here involved. People will be limited to what they can and can't do with the cars depending on which one they're driving. But as we see with Charlie Morgan, he's used about 10-15% of his virtual energy so far.
21% exactly, according to his dashboard.
There we go.
So if you go on board, you can see on their dash he's got 78% energy left.
Have a look. Oh yes, you can.
Scrubbing the chat. Car dead. Yeah, we figured it might be, mate. That was a big hit into the barrier.
No, absolutely. We do jump aboard him, actually. You're very right, Ben. The top left of his dashboard. As you see, the gear in the middle, that number on the top left above the speed, 142, 141, is his virtual energy that he has remaining. And yes, never really noticed that. Thanks for that, Ben.
The problem is, every one of the cars has it in a different place than their readouts.
So these guys are forced to make a pit stop. The length of the race won't be fully covered by anyone's virtual energy that they have for the cars.
Yeah. You do have fuel saving mechanism. You can lift and coast, and you can program into your MFD to guide you how many laps you need to do that for. And it will show on your dash, it will give you an indicator of when to lift. I'm just looking to see if anyone's doing it. I don't think anyone's going to bother this evening, to be honest.
No, I don't think so.
You're never going to save enough to counteract.
And this might be a saving race for most of these drivers, where his tyres potentially get a little bit hotter for the track dry. I can tell you it started raining again. Very slightly, but it has started to rain once more.
You can see the window wipers have come on. They're having to clear away that spray. And it's all going to get ever more tense as you try and navigate the conditions.
Yep, absolutely. So they'll have to be mindful of that. I'm sure they will be. But, yeah, so especially those on wets and maybe thinking, oh, will I have to pit? Do I? They'll maybe be relieved that a pit stop potentially won't be needed to be made early for slick tyres. Maybe we can get away with just sticking on the wets for a little longer and then pitting for a normal pit stop, maybe for another set of wet tyres if the rain does continue. Average track wetness is 15%, so it is still damp. It's still classified as damp or greasy out there, though just about enough standing water on surface to warrant the wet tyres.
Just some updates to an early instance. I think Andy Hearn has stayed out, whereas the other two guys pitted. Looking at his onboard, I think he is driving very slightly right-hand down and is just carrying on to try and offset that accident. And if you can get away with it, and if you can make it work...
I'm going to replay. There was a incident for Andy here. I'm not sure if this was qualifying or in the race. This actually might be qualifying that the replay is being transferred from, which is slightly annoying. I think it is. I was hoping we might be able to... Oh no, there's another car on circuit. So what's happened here? It's saying he's been in a crash. I don't think he has. It is very much so. We'll go back to live images. I think that was actually him live. It said it was a replay, but it wasn't showing us a replay. How wonderful!
So, yeah.
Wow.
I was going to say that's a really good replay. It's showing of him just driving.
Just driving, of course.
Right, Matt Townsend in the pit.
Ooh. So
that's a doable stop to go to the end. You get about 49 minutes worth of fuel. 40 to 49 minutes, somewhere in between there based on the balance of performance.
Now with the long pit lane... Oh no, not long pit lane, it's a short variant.
Yeah, it's the short variant tonight.
It's short variant tonight. It wasn't for the Wednesday league of the Academy race. They used the long pit lane, long endurance pit lane. But, and yeah, very long pits. This is tyres and fuel, I might add. So
got to be. He can't. Surely he's not gambling on slicks. Yeah. No.
No, he's gone back onto wax.
I don't think he's even taken fuel. He's still only showing a 72% virtual energy, which is about the same as everyone else.
Ooh. Surely not got a fuel save.
I can only think that he's pinged the car and got damage.
Got you. That might do it. Well, that's the first pit stop done. I'm sure there'll be many more to come.
A couple of people, Toby Eddy, also in the pits at the moment. He has taken full fuel and gone back to 100% virtual energy. That will see him to the end of the race.
Well, indeed, as we just jump back to the battle for P13 and P12, it's Daniel Benz and Dave Wood fighting away Ferrari versus McLaren, because that's what's always gone well. The Ferrari's gone wide, and that's going to scrub off all his momentum, and that McLaren looks suddenly a bit more racier as he pulls up alongside and makes a move past.
Spirit of 2007, McLaren overtaking Ferrari at Spa. That's letting Tyler Hammer close in the Porsche as well.
Yeah, but it's not too far
not
behind.
Far off.
It isn't now. And we'll be closing in on this battle very shortly.
So sketchy through the bus stop though.
Yeah, I can
You can see how tense he is putting the power down in that thing.
Right, the Porky Porsche, as many in the oNiD Discord love to call it.
And there is a fight just behind them as well. Frank Vevick is on the back of Tim Bob in the Aston Martin.
Was.
As Jarrett Page runs out into the gravel behind him.
But it looks like that gap is now open once more, so it gets away with well, I think the Aston behind that McLaren just ran wide into turn one and decided to go and build some sandcastles instead of keep it on circuit very briefly, so it gives him a little reprise, doesn't it, for Tim Bob?
Does indeed. There are battles around. Anton Semenga is on the back of Chris Downing.
Oh, Dan Thomas has lost the rear wing.
Oh no. Oh, and he's a long way from the pits as well to drive a GT3 car back in the rain. He is going to have to I hope he's realised he's lost his rear wing, because if he tries.
So he's already had a shunt. Oh, has he turned into a corner and spun already? He might have just missed that as we go to a replay. Oh no!
He's holding it together. Yeah, the rear wings on those McLarens seem to fly off at the first opportunity.
He needs to be careful then, going round this middle sector. Rain is starting to fall again, so some reprise for those guys who are on the wet tyres, who went through that kind of in-between spell of it being a bit just damp. But he needs to realise sooner rather than later he's got no rear wing. I hope he notices.
I think, he'll know by now. The car's tried to kill him twice, he will definitely know.
Oh, it's going to kill him now!
Oh, God, yeah, that's... He might have got away with that. It was a scrape of the front, but it was a scrape rather than a full-on belt into the wall. That's just a full-on drip. Showing off now.
It is. Oh, no. That's not going to do any well. Oh, that's a big shot.
Yeah.
We've still got power. The engine
yeah, he's still got the engine. Careful, Dan.
Oh, from bad to worse. I didn't quite see.
He's had the bog. Oh, there's a BMW coming.
This is right. This is absolutely. This is the replay of it's a Rouge incident. Goes through Rouge. Is he going to lose it here? Potentially goes wide. Oh, it's a Chevy. Oh, it's contact. He is now back in the pits.
That's a long way from the pits to lose your rear wing as well. You've got to basically do the entire lap.
Keep forgetting you're on delay.
Yeah, fair play to Dan. He's got it back to the pits. He can get it repaired, get it fueled, get back out on track, and try and he's got a long time left in this race to try and get something from it.
Absolutely, that's going to go down to a steward's review, I do reckon.
Harrow's put it the rear wing on the McLaren's held on with masking tape. So, yeah, basically, it is not. It's a bit fragile. It's the McLaren, good-looking car, but a bit fragile.
Absolutely. As we jump on board with third position, Atul Bhaskar, who was looking to try and challenge Alfie at the start of this race. Now that P1 battle is now opened up, and it's left Pavot looking a little bit vulnerable, I might add, from Atul, who's managed to close the gap now within 1 second of each other. Both cars using a lot of curb going into that chicane.
I'll say Athel's looking a little bit tentative at driving into the spray, sort of holding back.
Indeed, and that is the wrong button. I do apologise, folks. There you go, back to live images.
It's closing and closing. But I don't think the McLaren's going to have the straight line over that Mustang to really take advantage.
I don't think so either, sadly. The Mustang may survive the fight here, but in the corners, if they make a mistake, that McLaren's going to be right over them. For now, we'll leave that battle to commence. However, there's another battle forming. Temenga 6th, trying to catch the BMW of Chris Downing as the rain is increasing. Rain is now at 20%. Not just a light shower, but some proper downpours now of rain as the spray is back and cars are now fighting that spray.
Staying on BMW, two of the biggest cars on the grid. Almost looks like a touring car race.
Yeah. We had that the weekend. But the
Temenga is right on the back of Downing there. He is closing inch by inch, but he's gonna have the straight line advantage. The BMW is quite a good all-rounder. The Mustang is very, very good at putting the power down.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll just wait and see how much that Mustang does catch, if it can. But for now, that BMW looking relatively safe and handy around certain parts of the circuit. We're just waiting for some pit stops to happen now. We have just awaiting some guys to jump into pits that will dish up the order. That will dish up the order. That will change up the order, should I say? For this race, with 40 minutes to go, we are now very much in the pit window for people to come in, top up on virtual energy, and then get going racing once more until the end.
Come in now. You're basically putting the energy right to the top, and then going from there to the end. We've not seen a lot of guys doing that in previous weeks. They've liked to take a little, very short stop, and then just get enough fuel to get to the end, and then and then hope for the best and try and offset everyone else stopping.
Yeah.
Tyler Hammett right on the back of Dave Wood for P12. Loses a little bit as they come through the left-handers onto the back straight.
Who's also close as Tim Bob and Jarrett Page as well. Very much close together. That was Jarrett Page previously going very wide through Pouon, trying to fight with the McLaren. They're going to go down through the final sector. Almost flat out through here in the wet. You have to lift a little bit, as in the dry you can just about take it flat if you're feeling brave.
Even a little bit of brake from Jarrett there. He was not wanting to take any risk through that corner. He's looking racy tonight, as Jarrett.
He is indeed, and that Ferrari looks ready to hear it spar as well. It's a flash of the lights as well.
Oh,
that's too much right foot.
Yep. I call that the flashing the lights penalty.
I call that
Keeps
karma.
it out the wall.
And some may call that karma as a certain type of dog.
What don't we do? We don't flash the lights.
Well, that's going to be a kick of the teeth for Jarrett. He'll rejoin the circuit with very minimal damage, but potentially just a bit more damage to his pride more than anything. Tim Bob able to get away with pride for a battle there.
He's going to really enjoy that we caught that on stream as well.
Oh, he's going to love that. He's absolutely love that.
There is a little fight forming. Ben Brown and Anton Temenga, Mustang on Mustang.
Yes, indeed. It's equal machinery for both drivers. Maybe just the difference of setup and who's going to be sitting in the driver's seat potentially. Let's see what these guys can do. The rain's still falling very steadily at the
Ben Brown's
moment.
come forward about 4 places overall.
He
He
has.
is taking his time and working his way through, but he is making those places up.
He is indeed, I can tell you. Positions are getting lost. Look at that. Ben Brown up 4. Biggest winner, however, Tim Bob down in 13th, up 9 positions as it stands. A good showing from him. Biggest loser, however, I believe, is Mandus, who's dumped. But on the circuit, the biggest loser is Mavalone, by the looks of it, down 6 positions.
Yeah, he's had a little bit of a rough time as well, but obviously Jarrett Page as well, qualified 18th up to 14th, looking very composed on there. That little half spin at the bus stop not being mentioned, but that's
We don't need to talk about that.
decent
It's
run from
fine.
him.
Is for now is a car going into the pits behind there. I think I was Laura collecting going to the pits. Indeed it was. That's Charlie Morgan, I stand corrected.
Okay. Now he's not had any incidents, so we can only assume this is his planned pit stop.
It's doable.
Dead on 50% energy, so that's one of the things you can do. It doesn't give you it tells you how many laps you're going to do and how many laps your tank will do. If you can get the maths done on the grid, you can work out exactly how much you're putting in.
Yeah.
And he has taken exactly 30% of his virtual energy. So Charlie's done the maths, and now he's racing to the finish.
He's clued up
No
and ready to go.
tyres. That was a very quick stop.
Tyres can last in excess of an hour. They'll get a little bit twitchy.
These tyres are designed for 24-hour races. You can you can quadruple stint them in some cases. It's very difficult to do, and they're not going to feel very nice, but you can get it done.
They will last. But it'll be difficult. It's difficult to do, but especially for an hour's race, it's so easy. You push them.
Well, back out in P12 in an island as well, so he's dropped himself into a great little gap there where he can just drive.
Get his head down. It's not a bad shout, to be fair. I think he'll appreciate that tenfold. You have a yellow flag for someone. I'm going to try and figure out who that was, just very briefly. Going off the circuit. There's Tim Bob and John Cotty both in the pits. Both of those cars pitting near enough at the same time. Tim Bob actually getting out way ahead of John Cotty. Maybe not taking any tyres, because John Cotty is only just leaving his pit box.
John's not set up his pit stop properly. He's going to 100% virtual energy. Tim Bob was refilled to about 77%.
Ah, that'll do it.
Those two are good friends. They will be in their own chat together.
They will indeed, but that's elongated the gap between them both, and he's going to try and fight that one back.
Yeah, as Darren puts it, the tyres do start getting very twitchy at around 70% on this sim. They're still quite drivable, but it takes a little bit more of a little bit more finessing once you get to that point.
Temenga and Ben Brown now side by side at Mustang. A Mustang battle has now developed into turn 1. It is going to be, I believe that's Ben on the outside of both car 88, which is really annoying to track. As I believe that's actually Temenga now on the left of your screen, Ben on the right.
Temenga has temporarily got position, chops in front of Ben Brown, closes the door there. But that's going to give Ben a massive slipstream down the Camel Straight.
Is indeed.
Temenga is going to have to defend very hard here. You can see the speed difference. He's squeezing on. That was a squeeze.
He left exactly a Mustang width gap on the inside. They're going to close it together, and it's always a nudge. Oh, they get away with it, but Ben's going to go back on the attack again once more.
Yeah, that's some heavy defence there.
his heavy defence, and they're still trying to figure out who wants to get ahead of each other. Ben's going to try and hang it around the outside. That becomes the inside line for the next turn, but it's not going to have the momentum to hold it around the outside. It's now going to go downhill into Puon.
Realistically, he's going to be sat behind foot until they get to the rear straight now.
Yeah, pretty much.
That long, fast section where he can really lay down the Mustang's power in the slipstream. There's not really an overtaking spot between them now.
Oh, right behind him is Frank Doric for P8, also trying to get involved in this battle as these two decide who wants to lead each other.
Doric's done his pit stop as well, if I recall correctly. No, he's on 41% virtual energy. He's definitely not done a pit stop.
No, absolutely not. You can actually see on his dashboard, bottom right, underneath the tyre data, virtual energy 41, but fuel level 60s. As we said, the fuel tanks will last longer than virtual energy.
Yeah, the fuel doesn't change on the dashboard. It's a thing.
No.
The virtual energy will, the fuel doesn't.
Well, that is a letdown. As Ben now tucked back up from the slipstream, they go to the car ahead. You can see the two Mustangs fighting away just about in the spray.
Swing goes defensive early there, commits to the inside line.
Oh,
Ben
it's
around the
touch.
outside. I mean, if there's any cars that can take a bit of side to side, it's the Mustang, and Ben muscles him out the way there.
And here comes Doric as well, now wanting to pick up the spoils. Inside defensive move from Temenga as the McLaren goes to the outside of turn 1. They'll give each other space side by side.
They can get the job done, and they've got Tim Bob exiting the pits ahead of them. Has Tim been back in?
Tim's been back
he
in.
Must have been.
And he's going to be lapped by these guys in a short period of time. Tim Bob dropping to 20 seconds. They all get through El Rouge now. Now Temenga
has been hung out to dry.
He has,
Doric
big time.
Doric well through and attacking Ben Brown. That's a wall of spray these cars are emerging from there.
It is indeed. And Doric said getting the move done.
I mean, the lead McLaren in that queue, not part of this race, and Tim gets out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely. As Temenga goes a little bit wide in the background, and now Ben's having to fight this McLaren, who's got to go for the over-under.
Oh, that's a big turn back by Doric there. Very nicely done, but he is going to be hung onto the outside, and the Mustang able to turn back underneath him.
Tries to go back for the inside line again, tries to switch back once more. It's not going to work there. As they go down into Puon, McLaren thinking, come on, let me pass, I'm quicker than you.
It never works. It never works into Puon. He's not going to let him pass. Ben Brown will defend this position to the death.
He will, absolutely. It doesn't stop the McLaren filling his wing mirrors, trying maybe to the proverbial mind punch, and getting in a psychological battle in more than the on-track battle.
But despite this, they're starting to catch up with Chris Downing ahead.
Oh my god, they are. Chris Downing's not far ahead either.
Yeah, Chris is in an island on his own. He's ahead. He's 12 seconds off Angelo Scotti in 4th, but only a second and a half ahead of these guys now.
He has got a back marker ahead of him. I'm trying to figure out who that is.
That is... hang on.
It's the McLaren. Is that John? No.
Dan Tomlinson.
That's Dan Tomlinson, yeah.
And that was a big scream of the tyres from Downing's BMW there as he came through that fast left-hander.
Indeed it was. Gets it stopped into the final chicane. The blue flags are waving for that McLaren, so he'll now move out the way very shortly. And in the pits, that's the McLaren.
That is John Coffey again.
No, it's Doric.
Doric in the pit. Oh, Doric has gone for the pits as well. John Coffey has either never left the pits or is back in.
John Coffey is indeed back in.
Down in P22, drops him back down behind Tim Bob.
Oh dear. So, just under half hour to go. So a very easily made pit stop that will cover him to the end of the race. And there's Tim there. As Cottage, I say, gets a bit of a twitch on. That's going to be a lapping Corvette wanting to get past sooner rather than later. Oh, things back. Don't. Oh, careful, guys. Cotty goes very wide to just get out of the way.
We'll say Frank Doric going into the pits has let Ben Brown stretch his legs. He has put a lot of time in between himself and Temenga and Navoni now.
As indeed, and Temenga, very rightly so, whatever's happened to him, has dropped down the order. There's a McLaren behind him. I think that is not for position.
That's Tim Bob.
That's Tim Bob just getting out of the way, and this car is Malvone, in a good odd 8 and a bit seconds behind.
Now Ben is very much on a mission, and he is looking at that P5 spot.
Follow him now, Chris Downing, about 1.3 seconds ahead. The McLaren in between them is not for position. That McLaren will get out of the way in due course.
Dan Tomlinson there, he's just usually taking advantage of the slipstream there to help himself move forward.
Indeed they will. Ben, reminder, will still have to pit. Only 30% of actual energy remaining. Does have to pit once more, and he knows he has to. For now...
Toby, unfortunately, we have another DNF. Toby Eddy has called it a day and is in the pit, in his pit box and out of the race.
Oh dear,
Jarrett Page does his pit stop.
I think we may have a replay for Toby just to see as to why he did have a potential accident. That's him taking a pit stop. Wonderful. Thanks, game. You totally need to know that. There's nothing else showing. Oh, it comes out of the pit box. What's this? Comes out. Well, this is after his pit, so it's, the app is insistent that there was an accident here for him. So we'll see what happens. Oh no! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh dear! Oh, he is into the pits, and who is also into pits is that who I think it is. It is Temenga.
It is Temenga.
So...
That's going to drop him back behind Doric.
Oh, it's got the move done him on circuit then.
It's now chasing Charlie Morgan down for 8th, and this is a fight for position. Charlie has completed his pit cycle.
So... let's jump on board with Doric here. Outside line, so it's right. Outside line will become the inside if he can hold it. If he can hold it.
Little tap on the inside there. They both get away with it, and Charlie keeps going ahead there. And that has cost Temenga a few car lengths. Not Temenga, Doric, a few car lengths.
Has indeed, and that will be a little bit of a wake-up call saying, oh, I want to come past, but Asta's not going to give the move up easily.
It's a good car for these conditions as well, is the Aston. It's very, very stable in this kind of weather.
Absolutely it is. So another opportunity I'm sure will come in the next few corners, but for now Doric just collecting their thoughts and just maybe trying to figure out what they want to do. We'll go back to David and Tyler Hammer, who are fighting away with each other. 12th and 13th. It is the Porsche and the Ferrari, and that second Ferrari in the background is a lapped car. I'm going to ignore the number 80. Wait, that number 80?
Sorry. Ben Brown making the move on Chris Downing.
Oh, okay, we're jumping back to that. Where is he?
Right alongside in the Mustang.
And the Mustang's got the run outside line for turn 1. It looks like the move's already done. That BMW maybe just elected to go, you know what? You've got it. Get going.
God, Downing got a better line through turn 1. Was able to close a couple of feet there. And he's now going to chase. It's now his turn to chase after the Mustang.
Oh boy. Using a lot of curve on the inside there as well, going through El Rouge. That's going to ping up a track limit warning, I'm sure. And
Danny actually has a little, about 2% less virtual energy than Ben Brown. So he's not got much to fight him with at the moment.
as he goes deep into the end of the camera straight. And that's not going to help his score, as that gap is now opened up to almost 1 second. Yeah, that's not going to work for him, as Ben is able just to eke out that gap once more. And that back marker is looking to unlap themselves from Chris Downing as well.
Let's find a battle.
I'm trying to find it, but there's not actually many battles happening. There's a
Rain Doric and Charlie Morgan seems to be the closest one we've got on track right now.
Yeah, it's Doric and Morgan. And that's Aston 27 numbered car of the Aston Martin, looking, as we said, looking handy in the wet conditions. But for now, hanging fire and able to keep that McLaren at bay. He just had to put a gap going through that left-hander.
Got about 4% virtual energy advantage, does Charlie. So he's got a little bit more to play with. Have a little bit more weight in the car. It won't be so much he'll even feel it at this point. But it'll be enough that he'll be able to use more throttle, you not have to fuel save in any way, and can just push. And that's what you really want in these cars, is to be able to just get the throttle down and go.
Yep, absolutely. Another battle to keep an eye on is a battle for P2. Going to turn 1, Pavot is dropped. Well, for Alfie is dropped, Pavot and Bastar's also trying to catch. Remember, these guys have yet to stop, I do believe.
Going to be where it gets interesting. It's going to be who has set their pit stop up properly.
Chris Downing's in the pits.
Yeah, he might as well at this point. He's down to under 20%. He can just take a quick stop, get the fuel in, and then just go straight to the end.
Yep, absolutely.
Let's have a quick look at how much he takes on. About 20 minutes left. Goes up to 44%. Oh. 40 was taking tyres for a second. No, 44% virtual energy. That will see him through.
Have a look and see indeed that virtual energy is just below half bar.
I think he's about to get dropped into a fight with Anton Tomenga, though.
Oh, that's going to be interesting. We go back trackside and we'll see that the battle with him and Tomenga is actually
6 seconds. That's not. That Mustang's shown its ability to chase down a BMW already.
We're able to get away and do it again. The lead is yet to stop. And car sideways!
Yeah, Alfie Bascar and Dean Smith having a coming together.
Oh, that's
and
not
that has
good.
Cost Alfie.
Let's see if we can get a replay. If it will let us get a replay. We're fighting away with Pavot, and then I think it was a back marker, you said, Dean Smith. And there he is, there's the back mark coming into view now. And that's shaken up everything. Ben Brown's going to get third. Oh, we'll still stick with this replay and actually see what happens. And he just gets caught out. That's why he doesn't get caught out by the fact that BMW didn't accelerate at the same time he did.
Just a very bad look.
He has kept going, now back with live pictures of Bascar, and the gap between him and P2 is now 4 seconds. Now increasing to 4.5. It may just be some front end damage on that car. He may have got away with anything else but that.
It was a big-ish hit. I think that he'll probably have lost front end downforce, which is what you're really going to need if he chooses If he feels the car's drivable, he'll keep going. Whether he chooses to repair it at the pits is another matter entirely.
Right, 17 minutes to go.
We are going to see these leaders come in for pits very shortly, I suspect. Alfie is on 12% virtual energy, James on 13, Athel on, once his hands get out of the way, 15% virtual energy.
Oh. They have got at least one more lap in them, at the very least.
Ben Brown behind them on 14%. Let's have a look at their time differences. So lap 19, sector 1, 41 for Ben Brown, 41.5 for Athel. There's about half a second difference in the first sector between them.
Interesting.
I'm not sure that's going to be enough for Ben to overcome, because he still needs to stop as well.
Yep, absolutely. Oh boy. Right. Let's keep an eye on the leaders for now. Let's see what Alfie's going to do as he goes through. Goes into the final chicane. I don't know where the corner names now for a moment. Final chicane comes up, bust up chicane. Will he dive for the pits now? Nope, goes for another lap. He can.
Someone who is in a good position to take advantage, depending on how the pit stops cycle up. Angela Scotti in P6. She is the top car who was pitted.
Because Ben Brown and Malone haven't pitted, have they?
No.
Oh.
And she's going quickly as well.
We'll see on there indeed. Malvone, Brown, Bascar, Pavone. I thought Brown had pitted.
No, he's still to go. And Scotty is currently setting faster times than Bascar, Brown and Malvone.
Indeed, they are. Sadly, you can't see energy remaining on the timing tower.
Scotty is at 35, Ben Brown is at 11, Malvone is at 9.4. He definitely needs to come in the near future. Bascar is 11, Pavot at 9, and Alfie Bevan, once his hands get out of the way, is at 7.5. He will definitely need to come in this lap. He won't be able to do another one after this one.
No, absolutely not. The gap between Scotty and Malvone is only 4 seconds, which is worth noting, depending on how long the pit stops are. And up ahead...
Scotty's definitely going to have Malvone. Might and have Ben Brown as well.
And up ahead of Malvone and Scotty is this battle here. These three cars fighting. It's Jarrett Page, Tim Bob and Dan Tomlinson, all fighting away for 20th, 19th, 18th. As Jarrett's had a wobble, gets away with it. But they're now going to have fast cars coming up on them. Oh, never mind. That's Jarrett Page having a spin on the shunt.
Oh, that's a... Yeah, that was a big hit. You can hear the car is not happy.
Well, let's get a replay of that. We'll follow this battle as it goes up through El Rouge. You'll see he was ahead of these two guys, and that was Tim Bob on his tail in the McLaren. Goes down the back straight, and I think it's just too much right foot, basically. So he'll jump on board. And he goes into the chicane on the right, gets the power down. Yep. He's in the leaders in the pits, and that was indeed a unfortunate shunt. And yes, indeed, and that car of Page was crabbing as well.
It's not in a happy place.
No, he does get going. We'll go back to the leaders. We said Alfie Beaver's in the pits, is now leaving the pits. That's a very short stop. That's not for tyres, that's just for fuel.
Yep, leaving with 36% virtual energy.
And Temenga on the tail of Chris Downing for 9th.
There is still a lot to play for here.
There's indeed, and Malvern and Scotty aren't too far behind either. Saying that, Malvern's now into the pits.
That promotes Scotty to 5th. She's going to get 4th as well. There's only 11 seconds between Ben Brown and Angela Scotty.
Yeah. Don't think it's
going to get very tight towards the end as these guys cycle through these stops.
I don't think it's going to be a podium, but it's definitely 4th for Scotty. As Malvern's dropped to 8th.
It is... She might manage to pip 3rd. It's 20 seconds from... Oh no, because it's Alfie using 3rd. No, I'm not. I think she'll definitely get 4th. If Bhaskar repairs his car after that shunt earlier, she'll be able to get on the podium. It's going to depend on Bhaskar and Lepavo, how much they take. Pav is definitely going to be in this lap. He's on 2.7% virtual energy.
Just about
Bhaskar
makes it
4.3%. Yeah, he'll have to come in as well.
Absolutely. Cannot do another, what is it, percentage? Another, this 5 point something percent for a lap?
Yeah, give or take.
So Pavo will have enough to get to the pit lane, that is for sure.
Yeah, Pav, who's that?
Oh, Pav comes into the pits from the lead.
Pav is in.
And Bhaskar.
Yeah, Bhaskar in as well.
Yeah.
Alfie will resume the lead. And we will see where people cycle out now. I've got a feeling Ben Brown's going to be in this lap as well. He's on 2.7% virtual energy.
Yeah, you'll have to. Right, where's Alfie going to come out? Oh, there's car spinning in the pit lane. Who in the world was that? Was Pavo spinning in the pit lane?
Oh, no. Yeah, but he's only just got into his pit box. That's going to cost him.
Let's have a look at that. See if we can catch that on replay. Into pit. He spun on next and on entry to pit lane. How in the world has he done that? Well, there you go. Oh, I do wonder. I'm going to try and get a longer... Yeah, James just loses it on braking. He slams the brakes on as he comes into the box and Riss steps out on him.
Driver as well if he oversped.
Oh, from bad to worse. He comes back out in 7th.
Oh, that is a brutal...
Side by side from Ben, Brown and Doric into El Rouge. Sorry to interrupt you, Ben. And that's moved on for Ben.
Gets it back up to P5. Didn't quite get the undercut done, but got it done. But managed to get it done on the track. Charlie Morgan up to P4.
Oh, goes Charlie. That'll be a good result from him. I'm going to get a replay of this, however, with Ben Brown side by side with Doric up for El Rouge. We just jumped to it as it was happening. Ben was like coming out of the pits was Ben. And then defends. So this was him defending for position out in the pits. Oh. Mustang power pulling him ahead.
Side by side, slightest of door bangs there. You know me, I'm not averse to a door bang, so that wasn't too bad, really.
You touring car fanboy, you.
Absolutely. But yet, gets it done. It's not over yet between them, though, because
no, it's not.
He's right on the back of Ben Brown still.
Yes, indeed. Scotty up to second. 2 and a bit seconds to Bhaskar in second.
Look, she's still in third, but she is closing. That gap has come down.
Yeah. Oh.
Apple's taken less virtual energy as well. He's on 19% to 22 in Scotty's Mustang.
Has a bit more juice to to use up. It doesn't really matter. I think either way they'll have plenty. Both cars have plenty to stay out to the end of the race.
They will, but whether they have to do, they can go full throttle the whole time, or whether they have to lift off a bit. You don't want to risk dropping it any way down to 0, because it will give you a stop go. Well, add it to your time at the end of the race.
We say, oh, Ben goes deep. Sorry to interrupt. Ben goes deep into the final chicane, and that'll probably give him a finger wagging from the in-game stewards. They'll give him a couple of penalty points. Now, did he slow up enough to allow the game just to give him penalty points instead of a penalty?
I don't think it will even give him penalty points. He lost a lot of time there. The game does a lot more calculation than ACC does. It isn't you've stepped over the line, therefore track limits. It looks to see whether or not you have lost time.
Pavo's in the pits.
Oh no. Yeah, that's he didn't take enough fuel.
No, he didn't.
He's having to up the VE. Oh, dearie me.
From bad to worse. Spins in the pit lane on his first pit stop and didn't take enough virtual energy. Oh, salt to wound.
From starting the race on pole, he is now down. He's still in the pits, taking tyres. Or repair, maybe? It's definitely taking a long time, whatever it is, and he is dropping places.
Indeed, now Doric hatching. Oh,
that rear wing.
That is a wrong on board. There we go. And a good jump on boy. It's so close between the two. Both guys driving the cars outright deserve a decent finish today. They've both put the work in. Ben Brown coming up from 11th position, and Doric as well, making some moves of their own.
This one could still go either way. They are going to fight to the line. Just about 5 minutes left of this race. They have got, that's what, 2-3 laps?
Yeah, pretty much. It is far from over, and what was also far from over is the battle for 7th and 8th. Chris Downing closing on Malvone for position as well. Pavo's on his pit exit. He'll come back out and pit lap down in 15th, sadly. Tomlinson and Bob both fighting for position.
Still in the pits. He's still in his pit box.
Oh, he is.
That's got to be repairs.
Has to be.
And a heavy repair at that.
Yeah. Has to be at that point, surely. As things are now starting to heat up. We've got a couple of battles. We'll go back to Ben Brown, Frank Doric actually, down into turn 1. As Doric's got the outside line into the first hairpin. Now becoming the inside of El Rouge, and Ben, I think, is going to yield.
Like, please do not try and go side by side through El Rouge and GT3 cars.
Well, they did it once. As Ben came out of the pits and made it work. But Ben's now right in the slipstream. He will have the slipstream. He's got a run. The outside line won't be favourable, but the momentum, look at that. The Mustang just pulls.
All he needs is enough momentum to swing across the inside at LeCun.
Can't get the inside of LeCun.
He's got it. He has.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't.
No, maybe not.
Mack is still there. They're side by side. Fantastic racing from them both.
They leaned. That was fair.
That was fair. You can lean. As long as you don't push, you can lean.
Get a little bit of a suspect their panels on the side of the car will be giving them an orange warning in the damage readout at this point.
And Ben's dropped a little bit of a gap. And that might be nail in the coffin for him in the closing moments of this race. He's got a couple more straights to use that Mustang power to pull back up behind him, McLaren. Especially through the set. He actually closes quite a lot of that through the fast left-hander Pouon. It gets a bit slow and twisty again when that Mustang's not favoured. So He'll pull back through the long back straight, which really isn't the back straight, but we call it the back straight.
Turning that he's trying to take attacking angles, but he's just a bit too far back for them to really work for him.
Oh, and running wide through that corner as well. That's going to hurt.
It didn't set himself up right in the first right-hander there. It just took too shallow an angle and it just ran him out. And that, I think, that's given Frank Doric the advantage there.
It's a proverbial nail in the coffin, if I dare say so. Well, Frank Doric, I think, will take that 5th position. The gap now 2.5 seconds between Doric and Ben Brown. You can see that gap is quite sizable now as you go down to the main straight.
Saints in chat asking how to join the league race. Well, you asked for the Discord link and it pops up in there. Jump on there, see if there's spaces available for. We run leagues most nights now, so you'll probably be able to find something to take part in.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Sunday. You're pretty much fully signed up, however, but do jump in, see if there's any availability anywhere, and come and get involved. LMU, iRacing and Assetto Corsa currently on the roster for this season, as we all jump to this battle here between Tomlinson and Tim Bob, McLaren versus McLaren, and the battle still ongoing as, oh god, Tim Bob goes wide out the corner, slides to the inside. They're both going to each other's space. The leaders are now doing their own thing. No real fighting for the top positions. We'll keep an eye on them as they now enter the final 60 seconds of this race, and I do believe it'll be one more racing lap as both McLarens have moments going through that left-hander.
Slightly synchronised step outs there, and both of them come off worse. Dan round the outside and put on there. He's trying it.
Outside becoming inside, can't quite make it work. Doesn't have the momentum. Will duck back behind Tim Bob, and they go side by side through the next S's. They're giving each other space, and that's hard but clean racing.
That was a very nice move from Dan Tomlinson there. He put the car in a position where you could not ignore where he was. If Tim had tried to turn in, it would have killed both of them. So he made it discretion was the better part of valour there.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got Charlie Morgan behind them who's just going, nope, not getting involved. Feel free, lads.
No,
I'll settle for this P4, thank you very much.
Absolutely. Oh god, that is Charlie Morgan back there, following these two McLarens. And the P4 driver, and he thinks, yeah, I'd be in the same position. Let's just let them fight, it's fine. Just let them have their own ding-dong. Have front row seats this battle. And is that a move back up the inside from Tomlinson? It is. Oh, they touch. Both get away with it, and then that Bass is going to be thinking, right, come on guys, let me pass now. That's enough.
Yeah, Tim gets out of the way, and Charlie goes past, and hope that Dan Thompson will get out of the way from him as well, because Frank Doric is not that far behind him.
On the grass for Tim Bob, however. Oh, they save it. You're now on the last lap.
Yep, and it's not entirely settled yet. Scotty's still trying to chase down Afflebasker. Don't think there's anything doing there. There's about 2.5 seconds between them.
Blue flags for that McLaren. That Aston will now want to get past. Dan Tomlinson now slowing down to allow him to do so. That's going to put Tim Bob back into the picture ever so slightly, and the McLarens are back at it once more.
Ooh.
And breathe.
It's close. There's still plenty going on there.
Oh, he has a moment. Does it all jump to the leader for now? As it's been a fantastic drive from Alfie. Didn't start on pole. That was to the way of James Lee Pavot in the dying moments of the qualifying. Pavot's had a race of misfortune in the sister Mustang. But it's all Alfie Beaver. A few more corners to go. It's not going to be much more longer before he sees the checkered flag and takes the win for round 5. But a very dominant performance. A couple of slower cars ahead of him. One of them parks it on the apex going through.
Weeps around Matt Townsend there.
It does indeed.
Gave him plenty of space.
One more braking zone, a couple more turn-ins, and then one more acceleration zone, and that will be it for this week's worth of racing. It's going to be Alfie Bevan who takes the win for round 5 here at Spa-Francorchamps at the GT3 Festival. And that is race over. Fantastic win there from Alfie. About 15 seconds behind, it's going to be Athol Baskar. Had a bit of a torrid race, caught up with back markers, but P2 is going to be a consolation prize I think he'll be happy to settle with.
Absolutely. Another person who's going to be happy, Angela Scotty, coming across the line for P3, making the strategy work for her, and will take the last space on the podium.
They will. Let's jump down the order a little bit and see Frank Dorick is going to then take P4. Charlie Morgan's already seen the checkered flag. I'm just going to go down to Thompson.
Finishes. Frank Dorick takes P5. It was not that far between them at the line there.
It wasn't, and that is, and as Dorick comes to the line, that was Dan Tomlinson taking the win over Tim Bob. It was actually not that close, not that far behind for Andy Hearn either. We'll jump back.
Chris Downing got past Ben Brown at some point on that last lap.
Did indeed. And Jarrett Page will see. Ben Brown has actually dropped another position. Did I just see?
Oh no! Ben Brown's run out of fuel.
Oh no!
He's coasting. The engine's off.
Oh dear. Let's go to a replay and see if we can catch it when it happened. This is that 30 seconds ago. He's already coasting. Oh, that is...
Not as far as P11. Adrian Malverne DNF at the end there. I suspect also this will have ran out of fuel.
Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear.
No. Yeah, Ben's gonna have to DNF. He can't make it to the line.
Oh, you can't. Absolutely not. There was another car just going past him and trying to figure out who that was.
There he goes. Yeah. That was a back marker. That was Alan Axon who will come across the line for 21st.
And that is that. Ben will finish as a dump. Will drop out the order. It actually doesn't classify as 11th. It's going to be a Susie DNS. It's going to be P23.
No, it's still holding as... No, still holding as P11 on the standings. Let's have a look at the final scores. Because he lapped everyone up to including Matt Townsend. This endurance, he's still completed more laps.
Well, let's go to the finishing result, shall we? It is Alfie Bevan that took the win there for round 5. It's Baskard and Scotty and Morgan, Dorick, Downing, Temenga, Hammer, Wood. And then Ben's your top 10. They'll go down to 11th. Ben Brown did classify as a dunce, but classified 11th. Malvone finishes in 12th. Did not finish, but still withholds that 12th position. Townsend 13th, Hearn 14th, Tomlinson 15th, Tim Bob 16th, Lab 17th, Vivek 18th, Jarrett Page 19th, and John Cotty 20th. We go down to Axon in 21st, Peter Janlek 22nd, Dean Smith 23rd, and then sadly Pavo, Eddie, and Manders all finishing down the bottom of the pack for the final positions and the final DNFs of the evening. Oh.
Ben Brown, oops. In the chat.
Ben Brown says oops in chat. Oh dear. Well, that was an interesting race.
That was a very good race.
Never failing to entertain the Spa-Francorchamps. It's always something about that circuit. It always gives some good racing. We went. I don't think there was only a couple of points in the race we thought, oh, everyone's spread out. It's going to get a little bit slow.
I got the fuel ratio a little wrong. The touch.
Oh.
Yeah, we had strategy calls, we had on-track racing. There's not much more you can ask for from a race, to be honest.
No, not
It
the
was
slightest.
a great race from these guys.
Absolutely. Just showing a little bit of a teaser of what to expect on a Thursday night on the screen. We've had our we've had our oNiD 4 Championships Open Wheeled Racing on a Thursday night, and a brief mention to that, as well as many other leagues that we have planned for this week. We're back live tomorrow with myself again, and Scotty will be taking up the commentary booth for what will be the fifth round of the oNiD Assetto Corsa Championship. Mini Cooper, JCW Mini Coopers racing around Valkenburg?
No, we are at the Salzburg Ring.
Salzburg Ring. Oh boy. Lots of straights, lots of slipstream and banked turns. Elongated oval, from what I understand. Join us there for for that championship down AC, and then back again on LMU on Wednesday night for the Academy Championship, shall we say, for the rookies racing on that evening. A chance for drivers to show their stuff, new to sim racing or new to LMU in general, and that's the place to be for some racing there. Mixed grids, mixed classes, LMP LMP2
and GT3. And interestingly, will be our first race with the new GT3 cars, the Lamborghini and the Lexus, and the new tyre model.
Indeed it will. So we'll see what happens on Wednesday night with people learning the next update to LMU, which will be released tomorrow, I do believe, in time for Wednesday. Thursday, as we said, go to iRacing, and it's the oNiD 4 Championship Open Wheel Racing at its finest at, I'm trying to remember where it is for Thursday. It's a British circuit, I can tell you that, because all the circuits are British for this championship.
At some point you will remember our schedules.
At some point.
Bear with me. Thursday is Alton Park Island.
Alton Park Island. Definitely, I was just testing you. Maybe not. Back live again, myself and Scotty once more, bringing you all the action from iRacing on a Thursday night. We take a bit of a breather until Sunday. We go back to the Le Mans Ultimate Sunday stream, the 100 series, and will be streamed. And where are we for the 100 series? We are at... Oh, goodness gracious me.
Good grief. There with.
Oh, thank you, dearest. At least someone knows what they're doing.
Honestly. Bahrain Outer Circuit.
Bahrain Outer.
Not so much the short circuit at Bahrain, but definitely a fast version of the circuit. Very, very quick lap and very fun racing in these cars.
Absolutely. And that rounds up our week of racing, and then live again as we are for tonight, week today, back live for the next GT3 Festival race on week today.
Do you want me to look up where that one is as well?
No, we're fine with that. It's fine. We're all good. Oh God, where are we?
There with GT3 Festival. We are at Bahrain Outer as well.
Bahrain Outer. Yep, absolutely. I tell you what, we were at Spa this Wednesday just gone, weren't we, for the Academy? We're at Spa now, so I think it's following a bit of a pattern. And no doubt, be sure to join us for our upcoming streams. It's been a pleasure to bring you tonight's race. Myself and Ben will be back, hopefully, maybe next week, or hopefully have the return of Johnny back into the comms booth. But if not, and myself and Ben, I'm sure, will be gladly bringing you back to next week's race for the GT3 Festival. We're back live tomorrow, myself and Scotty, on the Twitch channel for oNiD Community Racing. If you enjoyed what you've seen here tonight, do come and get involved. Discord.gg/oNiD Community Racing. Put that in your web browser. That'll take you to the Discord. Come and say hi. Come and pester us. Get involved and see what we've got offering for our championships. We're mostly fully signed up for season 3. Put your name on a waiting list. You may get a couple of people drop in the future. Who knows? You'll be in it to win it. but stay tuned for the rest of the season. 4 weeks to go, inclusive of this one actually, and we'll announce the next season in due course. So plenty of time to practice and get and anticipate what's going to be happening for season 4 in about 5 or 6 weeks' time. But you come and say hi; it'll be a pleasure to see you, and we will very hopefully see you all again very soon on Twitch. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Take care. Bye bye for now.